Hello everybody. I want to welcome you to the stream. Today's stream is going to be the new Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020. Oh, sorry. We're going to fly the A320NX Neo. And we're going to go from Boston, Massachusetts down to Washington Dulles Airport. Just give me a few minutes. We'll get everybody to board. I just got to do a few little game audio sets too here. So give me 1 second so you guys have some sound. There we go. Now you should have some sound. So I'm going to go ahead and pop that out. So you should be able to hear stuff now, and it looks like you can. Alright, without further ado, let's pop in here and see what we can do. So what we're going to do is we're going to click on Ready to Fly. Okay, that's going to put us inside the aircraft here. So there's a couple things I want to do before we get going. Is I need to make sure I have my flight plan up. And I actually want to turn up all these knobs. So this is the new Flight Simulator 2020, done by Microsoft. This is the Steam version. Yep, this is going to tell me that the engine's not set up yet. Oh, let me kill this. There we go. That's better. Okay, so, don't mind the voice, by the way. I decided to go disguised today. Alright, so first thing I want to do is I want to come up and get some power to the aircraft. So what we're going to do is we're going to come in here. You see the batteries. I'm going to turn this one on. This one on. Then we're going to come over. We're going to get some external power. And you'll hear stuff start to fire up. Just give it a minute. Alright, next I'm going to come on over to the fly pad. I've already got a flight. So the new thing with these is, with this A320neo, is we have a dashboard. And we can do our flight sim stuff. So here we go. So our cruise altitude today is going to be flight level 320. We're going to go to Kbos-Kiad. Our alternate airport is Pittsburgh. Average winds are 263 degrees at 32 knots. Current weather in Boston at the current time is 110 degrees by 10 knots. We got broken skies at 8,000 feet and overcast at 14,000 feet. Our altimeter reading today is going to be 3015. Okay, let's go ahead and get some stuff going here. Gonna look at the... Well, first thing we're going to do is we're going to bring this gate over, which doesn't want to go today. I wonder why. Yeah, even my forward door is not working. Okay. So we get some baggage. That's weird. Yeah, it doesn't want to connect the gates. Oh, maybe that gate's broken. Alright, anyways, let's come back up. We're going to come back up here. We're going to set the IRSs. We're going to set number 1, number 2, number 3. So that's going to pretty much get us aligned. We're going to put the crew oxygen supply on. And we are going, no, we don't want our taxi on. I need to come in. We're going to put our nav logo lights on for now. And it's going to get dark fairly soon, so we'll turn this up a little bit. Alright, from there, we're going to come on down to the CDU. The first thing I want to do is select. Okay, we have the air rack, current air rack, which is correct. Alright, so now I'm going to go to initialize. We are Flight Delta Airlines 0182. What did I say our cost index was going to be today? Overview, dashboard. Cost index is 24. So we're going to come back down to the MCDU. Cost is 24. Cruise altitudes 32,000 feet. Okay, now we're going to go in and get our fuel set up because we're going to need our block fuel and get that filled. Let's come on up here. Come on up here. Alright, let's go back over to here. So I'm going to look at the flight plan and see what our fuel is going to need today. So our block fuel, we need 131,197. So 13,000 pounds of fuel. So we're going to come over here. We're going to go 13197. And then we're going to hit the refuel. So you're going to start to see this go up, the fuel, or down. 13197. Okay, so we're actually already full now. So flight plan today, so we're going to be taking off at 15 right. I need to see what we're going to be doing for alright, Blizzard 5, the Blizzard direct to Bath, and then on the Hyper 8 star, and then down to runway run right. Alright, so that should be fairly easy. So let's go back. We'll keep that available. So our okay, actually before we do that, we're going to go here, ATSU. We're going to go ahead and get our weights and balances. We're going to send a request. It's going to read the flight plan. We're going to go ahead and start boarding. Now you're going to start hearing people in the background boarding with a little bit of music. Go over here. We're going to get the weather request. So we'll send the weather. It says it was sent. So okay, now we have a company message showing up here. So what we got to do is go back down here We're going to return. We're going to go to receive messages, and we have this MEDAR. This gives us the weather. We have the option to print it out, so we're going to do that. And it's going to come out of the printer. Once it's fully out, all we have to do is click on it. And then if we come up here, it's pasted right here. Pretty interesting for this plane. Alright, so I'm going to return. Now we're going to go to initialize. This gives us our details. We're going to go data request for the initial review. So that's going to give us that. Now we're going to go back. We're going to come back over to init. IRSs. We're going to align them on reference and confirm the alignment. Right now, see, we got 3 minutes until we're aligned. So we're going to return. We're going to go back over to here. I needed to know what the block fuel was again for today. 13197 was our block fuel. Alright. So it's going to be page 2. So flight plan. Flight plan's rather simple. So we're going to be taking off 15 right. Runway 15 right. And we're going to be the Blizzard 5. No transition. I'm going to insert that. That's going to take us all the way down the Blizzard to end the star. And then I believe it was direct to Bath. Yep, direct to Bath. And then right on the Hyper 8. So pretty simple. So we're going to click on Blizzard. We're going to type in Bath. Put that in next waypoint. We'll insert it. So Bath, there we go. Now we can come down to our arrival. Click on arrival. And we're going to go ILS 1 right. I believe that's what we were on. Let's just double check. Yes, 1 right. If you can't see it, it's right there, 1 right. Okay. So we're going to come back on over. 1 right. And the transition, the star that we're using, Hyper 8. Now I got to figure out which one we want to use. So I'm going to pull up my charts. Just give me a moment, because I got to look up the charts for Kbos-Kiad. Navigraph charts. Here we go. I'll pull them up. I mean, I can pull them up in the airplane too. So Kiad, let's see what we got. So we're gonna do the approach. ILS runway 1 right. Okay, so Bravo or CSN? Depends on what side we're coming from. Westminster, Brook, Bravo. So we're going to do the Bravo. the BRV transition. And we'll go ahead and insert that. Alright, so now what we got to do is go through this and look for any discontinuities. Delro, Lurch, Bins, Hyper, Sigbee, Mowat, Hustle, Yak, Decel. We're going to go T-Con. So we got to get rid of this manual. So we're going to go clear, clear. Remove Tacona. Oh shit. Uh-oh, what was after Yak? Damn it. I cleared the wrong one. Let's try this again. Arrival. One right. Hyper 8. Bravo. Inserted. Alright. Hate when it sticks. Alright, so it's Yak. Let's go ahead and clear this discontinuity. We're going to clear this manual. And we're going to clear this. Alright, so then we got Mosby, Waxing, straight down. Alright. So we can come on up here and thumb through this. So we'll look at our flight plan. Let's go to 3, 5, 2, 2. Alright, so I want to set you to plan. Now, see, I shouldn't, well, yeah, I can go up and around. I need to open that up and see that. Where is that going? So see, that looks kind of funny. So if we went from Yak up to Mosby, from Yak to Mosby. Actually, I think we did go from Yak to Mosby. Let's take a look at this. Alright. I don't like that roundness. It's got this curve on it. Take a look at this. You got Yak, Mosby, Waxing. Alright, so what the heck? Oh well. Looks like that's what we're gonna do. That's probably correct. Just looks funny. Let's see, if I was to come down, Hustle, Yak, Mosby, straight onto the runway, but now what that curve is. Now we come in here anyway and we could get on the ILS. Alright, yeah, that'll work. Alright, so they're still boarding. Alright. I need to go to Boston here. Airport info. Alright, so we are there. 15 right is where it be? Oh, 15 right's there. Okay. Okay, so control 5. So we've gotten that. Let's go ahead and get our perf. So we're going to do flaps 1. Actually, before we do that, our block fuel, what I say was 13.1. 13.1. So I'll say 13.2. We got our weights in. So now we can come to the perf page. So we're going to do flaps 1. Our transition altitude is going to be 1800 in the United States. Alright, our V1 speeds. V1 is 132. V rotate is 133. V2, which is rotate, is 137. So we're going to go 137 plus 10. So we're going to punch that into here. We're going to go 137 plus 10, so that's 147. Okay, that's that. Our heading is going to be 150 for runway. That's for the runway. Okay, and I don't want to go up 1,000 at a time. So we're going to go up, believe our initial climb is going to be at 4,000. We'll double check it once we get set. I'm going to hit next. Make sure that's good. That's good. Descent rate is 350. Alright, so the flight plan. Yep. We have to be at 3,000 by BRR0. Okay. Perfect. So they're still loading. While they're still loading, we'll go up and we'll start doing some stuff up on the upper overhead panel. So we're going to come back to the overhead panel. What we're going to do right now is we're going to get our fuel pumps on. And we're going to come down. We don't need the generator on yet. Bus tie can stay on. Window heat can come on. We're going to fire up the APU. So if we come down here to 4.
Austin Airport information, Echo 19er, 00 Zulu.
You see the APU coming on.
Visibility 10.
A second, I gotta switch the radio back. There we go.
Boarding completed.
Alright, boarding is completed. So while that's firing up, we're gonna go ahead and close the doors. So we're gonna get rid of the passenger door, the forward door. Oh, now, look at, now the damn ramp wants to come over. We'll let it open them and then we'll close it back up.
Ladies and gentlemen from the flight deck, on behalf of myself, your captain, the first officer, and cabin crew, I'd like to take this time to welcome you aboard our flight. We're just wrapping up some paperwork up front here and waiting to receive final numbers from the ground crew, then we'll be on our way. Flight attendants will be coming through the cabin shortly with a very important safety briefing. We do ask that you give them your full, undivided attention as they review the safety operations of this Airbus aircraft. We do appreciate your business having you aboard this flight. If there's anything we do to make your flight any more enjoyable, please don't hesitate to ask. Welcome aboard.
Alright, well apparently the gate is fucked up. But that's okay. Alright. So we're ready to go. So what we're gonna do now, switch this back to our takeoff. So we're gonna go ahead and 4,000. We'll go ahead and set this all to auto. So we're on the proper. Alright, so we're going back up. APU is available. So we're going to go ahead and kill the external power. We're going to put the APU bleeds on. Packs can come off for now. We don't need the hot air on. Engine bleeds are on. So right now we can go ahead and put the beacon on because we're going to get ready. Well, actually, before we do that, we're going to put the seat belts. We're going to arm the emergency exits. Seat belts can come to on. And beacon can come to on.
Flight attendants, arm doors, and cross-check.
Okay, flight attendants are going to arm the doors and cross-check. So now I got a call for our tow. Control 2. Let's bring you up. Oh, actually, before I do that, we need to get you set.
Once again, we'd like to welcome you on board. Your safety is our top priority, so we appreciate it.
Turn on the Chronos.
While we demonstrate the safety features of this aircraft. You can follow along with the safety information card in your seat back pocket. To fasten your seatbelt, insert the flat metal edge into the buckle and pull on the straps to tighten.
They're going to do the safety demo.
Please keep your seatbelt fastened low and tight across your lap when the seatbelt sign is off and have it visible to the crew at all times.
Okay, Q&H is set.
Your life vest is in a pouch under your seat. It's expected by the crew. Tear open the pouch, put the vest and pull it over your head. Wrap the strap around your waist. Secure the buckle and pull the strap tight.
So we're going to do rudder control mode to be able to do our pushback.
A locator light on the shoulder will turn on automatically in weather, and remember, never place your vest inside the aircraft. This Airbus A320 is the emergency exit. Two doors in the front, 4 window exits over the wing.
Okay, taxi signs are on. That's good. Let's go ahead and just put the dome light on for now because it's daytime, but I want to be able to see it. TCAS. TCAS needs to go to TA for now. And we're going to put you into auto mode. We're going to flip the engine over to start. Flight deck to ground.
Go ahead, flight deck.
We will be ready shortly.
Roger.
Alright, so now they're going to pull that up. And the gate's going to pull away. Huh?
Something's across the street.
Oh.
There's 3 fire trucks, everybody's outside. Like, there's at least 300 people standing outside.
Wow. Alright, so here we are going to do this. Right. We are ready for pushback and engine start.
Roger. Release the parking brakes, please.
Alright, so we're going to release the parking brakes. Parking brake released. Parking brakes released. Parking brakes released. Okay, so no power. Parking brakes released. Brakes released. Alright, they don't want to do it again. Why? Alright, so now see, the pushback is supposed to be ensure chocks out, parking brake off. I don't think we have the wheel chocks in. Yeah, we don't have the chocks. Chocks are out. There is no chocks. So what is causing that? Parking brake released. Alright, I need to go to the settings. We don't have chocks. What is this? Trigger pre-flight events. Toggles jetway. Oops, I did not want the jetway. I think I just put it back. I did. Let's get rid of the jetway. Power supply truck. Toggle stairs to work. Toggles main aircraft door. Brakes released. Okay. That's the door. Close the door. Let me check doors. All doors are closed. Okay. So one of our... I end up getting rid of this particular one. I'm going to go ahead and call the tug. Screw it. We're going to get rid of this guy. We'll do it this way. We're going to call the tug. Tug should be coming. So let's take a look outside. Yeah, here comes the tug. He's getting himself hooked up. So how do I want to do this push? I know how I want to do it. Tug coming or what? Alright. We gotta call the tug again. So we're gonna go to the cockpit. Call tug. We'll go back to the external. Here he comes. Then we'll start pushback. Let me make sure my parking brake's on too. Alright, tug is attaching. And tug is pushing us back. So we need to go into... Which way is he pushing us? He's pushing us straight back. So we had a little malfunction in the plane right now. But we'll wait and we'll get the pushback finished. Oh my God, what is going on with this? Alright, he's released us, so what we're going to have to do is go fire up the engines now. So we're going to start with engine 1. You see our N2 is going to rise. And go ahead and put flaps 1. Hey, engine 1's firing up. So what we'll do is we'll come out and we'll go this way. I have to fix that. Alright, as soon as this engine's available, we'll put the pack on for that side. Okay, the starter just disengaged for that one. Alright, engine's available, so we're going to go up to the top. We're going to activate pack 2. And then we're going to come back down and we're going to fire up engine 1, which also fires up our hydraulics. So, yep. EGT's rising. Engine's kicking in. We're going to set our brakes for rejected takeoff to max. We might have to wait for some traffic, air traffic after, but no big deal. Okay, once this engine becomes available, we'll go back up to the top. Okay, starter just kicked out. And that engine's available. So now we're going to go up. We're going to go ahead and turn that pack on, and we're going to turn the hot air on. We're going to set to taxi. Also put our landing lights on and runway turn off lights on. Actually, we're just going to do the taxi, so we'll turn those off. I'm going to put the strobe lights to auto. We can go ahead and get rid of the APU bleed and turn off the APU. And now we are ready to actually go. Crowd spoilers armed. So we can do takeoff config. Make sure everything is set. I'm going to go TARA. I'm going to put you on. Takeoff config tests. Cabins checks. Spoilers. Flaps to takeoff. Takeoff test is normal, so that works. We're going to go ahead and put our predictive windshield to auto and our weather to 1. And let's go ahead and get on out of here. And go ahead and release the parking brake. Let's get a little bit of thrust. To get moving. I'm not going to gain we are going to come down I don't see anybody on the taxiway. So we're at idle. You always want to stay at like 10 knots on the taxiways. So we're going to go down Bravo. There's a Beechcraft on the other taxiway. Let's go ahead and get an outside view so you guys can see where we're going. While we're taxiing down to the runway. Gain clearance from ATC to receive a departure runway. Use assists during takeoff. Fuck that. I see the taxi incursion, but it's alright. I mean, we could use ATC if we wanted to.
Boston ground, Delta 182 ready to taxi touch and go with Foxtrot.
Delta 182 taxi 2 and hold short of runway 15 right via taxiway Alpha Zulu Bravo Lima. Contact tower on 128.8 when ready.
Taxiing hold short runway 15 right via taxiway Bravo Lima cross runway 15 right Kilo Delta 182.
Yeah, I already know what my aircraft is. Alright, so we've got our clearance. So we can get out of that. We're taxiing. So if you get too fast, you just use some brake. That'll slow you down a bit. So we're actually just going to come up to 15 right over here, and then we're going to call the tower, and we'll get clearance.
Boston ground generic November 842 Mike Alpha ready to copy IFR clearance to Charlottesville. Generic November 842
Okay.
Mike Alpha is
We
cleared
are
to Charlottesville Airport is filed. Takeoff runway
gate.
15 right climb and maintain 9,000 feet. Departure frequency is 120.6 squawk 6166.
To get our brakes on. Let's go back to the inner camera. Make sure our brakes are
Generic November
applied.
842 Mike Alpha cleared to Charlottesville Airport is
Yep,
filed.
brakes are on. Alright, so now we're going to want to put our landing lights on.
Maintain 9,000 feet. Departure on 133.0 squawk 6166.
Okay,
Generic 2 Mike
everything's
Alpha
ready.
readback is correct. Contact ground on 121.75 when ready to taxi. Good.
Boston Tower Delta 182 ready for touch and go at runway 15 right.
Delta 182 altimeter tree 0.1 tree wind 104 at 12. Left touch and go approved.
Cleared for takeoff. 15
Cleared
right.
for takeoff runway 15 right, Delta 182.
Okay, so let's get on this runway. Let's get some power going here. There we go. Ladies and gentlemen, we are ready to take off. All right, let's get lined up. Okay, let's pull our throttles up. 50%. And we're gonna go toga. 80 knots just to keep V1, V2 rotate, let's get positive rate, gear up, okay, we're going to wait till we get our speed up. We're going to just fly this approach.
Boston Tower generic November 842 Mike Alpha at runway 15 right ready for departure IFR to Charlottesville. Generic November 842 Mike Alpha altimeter tree 0.1 tree wind 104 at 12. Cleared for takeoff runway 15 right.
Okay, we're at climb. Let's go ahead and hit the autopilot on.
Generic November 842 Mike Alpha.
Autopilot's on, flaps up. And we are climbing. I'm going to pop the auto throttle off and then back on because it's a little bug. So from 4,000 to BRR. We're going to be at 4,000 here, and then after that we can go up. What we'll do is we'll go up to we should be able to go up
Generic 2 Mike Alpha contact Boston departure on 133
Okay.
decimal 0.
Now we're gonna go up,
Good day.
climb some more.
For generic 2 Mike Alpha.
Alright, so we are in soup, in the clouds. Let's take a peek outside. Yeah, oh yeah, we're in the clouds. Nice smooth takeoff though. So we're at 4,800 feet. 250 knots. Alright, ignition can go to normal at 10,000 feet. Lights can go off. And get up over these clouds pretty soon. All in all, that was a pretty good takeoff. Eight 8,000 feet. I don't know if we have sounds in here that I can adjust. Audio. Alright, this is the Weymouth NAS. Alright, we're continuing to climb. Ground spoilers don't have to be armed anymore. We take that arm off. RTO automatically shut off. Alright, give me 1 second. I'm going to go in and change our sound. Our sound is kind of high. Master. Let's cut the master down a bit. Warnings, other aircraft, user interface. Fine, we'll drop that down. Let's see how that works. Apply it. Go back. Oh, it's a little better. Okay, so we have made it up over the top of the clouds. There's a jet blue to the right of us. You see it right here in our monitor. He's at the same, yeah, he was at the same height as us. So I'm going to take us up, all the way up. To 32,000 feet. Okay. You can hear the passengers talking in the back. Alright, so where are we? Let's come up. So we are headed to Blizzard, which is right here. We should be at flight level 320 by the time we hit Blizzard. We have 35 miles to get up to 32,000 feet. Alright, so once again I want to welcome everybody aboard. This is a new plane, new simulator, and I think I'm actually doing pretty good on it. Surprisingly. So 32,000 feet is our goal. Incorrect high altitude. Really? Oh, yeah. Standard. That's why it came up incorrect. So it should be smooth sailing from here. So now that we're actually up smooth, we can turn off the seatbelt signs. And taxi lights can come off. Those can come off. All the landing lights can come off. Strobes can come on. Oop, went the wrong way with it. Alright, strobes are on. We are good. Hopedale Industrial Park. It's down to our left, to our lower left. So the only thing I'm going to need to try to figure out is how we're going to get the sound to go down a little bit. That's ridiculous. So we've been live for 58 minutes. Our current flight time should be like an hour and a half. I'll have to look at our approach plate next and see when we're going to be descending, or where we're going to be descending. So Bath, Delrose, 221 miles. So we need to get to we got to be at 14,000 at Lurch. So we got to be at 14,000 at Lurch. Let's come over here to our calculator. We're going to calculate it. So we're going to sync this. What did I say? 14,000.
Lawson Airport information, Foxtrot 1900 Zulu. Land 1 tree at 14.
So we got to start our descent 32 miles before that waypoint.
Overcast. Temperature 13. Dew point 10. Altimeter 30.12. ILS runway for right and visual runway for left in use. Landing and departing
All right.
runway.
We're going to go to
Runway 15 right.
Unicom.
Direction of flight. All aircraft read back hold short instruction. Advise controller on initial contact you have Foxtrot.
All right. Now we're on the Unicom frequency. So as we get up higher, at the top of the clouds, all's looking well. Let's come on over to the center console here. I want to check our pressures. In the green, we're good. Our fuel, I don't know why the center tank's even on, because we don't have anything in the center. But our fuel's balanced. Pretty well balanced. Wheels were stowed. Air conditioning, it's 28 degrees Celsius. The forward cabin. Alright, so we can switching Captain 3. Alright, so let's come up to the top. let's get the forward cabin a little more temperature so they're not sweating their asses, well, they're freezing their asses off. Alright, so these temperatures should rise. Yeah, there they go. We don't want them sweating their asses off. Alright. Hit Control 2, we'll go back up. So we're still climbing, we're at 29,000 feet. We got 3,000 feet to go. And get rid of ATC. We don't need ATC. Come back in here. I need to check sounds. Audio. Wind interior. Alright, I guess that's the max that we can go below. So this is if you're flying on any one of the programs. I'm going to be doing VATSIM pretty soon. Hoppy, but SimBrief, that's me. Range 3,400 miles. Charts. So if we did K-I-A-D, Kiad. And my charts only work when they want to for some reason. They suck. Alright, right now that's Boston. That doesn't follow us. Green reservoir air leak. These are for failures. Alright, so we're fine over here. And we have reached our cruise altitude of 32,000 feet.
Gentlemen, once again to the flight deck, the captain speaking. We've just reached our cruising altitude for the flight. As it begins to settle in, I do want to remind you to please keep your seat elbows clear from the aisle as the flight attendants will be coming through the cabin with galley carts shortly. Also, one more reminder to please refrain from congregating with the front galley where the flight deck door is located. Thank you.
You got that, people? And once again, we want to thank you for boarding our flight. Non-stop service from Boston to Washington. As it looks, the current weather in Washington is the wind is 210 degrees at 5 knots. There's 10-mile visibility. Clouds are broken at 6,500. Altimeters 300. And looks like we might be able to have a good landing today. So the weather's not too bad. No rain in the forecast. That's always a good thing. And once again, thank you all for flying with Delta Airlines. And we hope to make you very happy. And you come and fly with us again. In a short while, the cabin crew will be coming down with some drinks and stuff for you. So in the meantime, sit back, enjoy the scenery. We'll point out to you anything that comes up as a landmark, something that we want you to see. We'll tell you which windows to look out. Right now, if you look out your windows, you can see we're above the cloud layers. The clouds kind of look like mountains. And again, if you're all wondering why the voice sounds different, it's because I'm using a voice changer today. Sorry, I just had to cough. I'll have to call the flight attendants and get something to drink. We also just want to remind you there is no smoking anywhere on the aircraft. If you feel you should actually have to smoke, the exit doors are to the right. You can the smoking areas are on the left wing and the right wing. If you feel you should smoke. Why is it telling me the landing lights? That's off. That's off. Let's hit the clear again. Cancel recall. Where's my cancel recall? Whoa. How the heck? Lurch is 14,000. Bins is 320. Oh. Okay. Hyper 8 bins. Is that where it's screwing us up? Let me go ahead and clear that one. That's better. So 39 miles from where we're at now. Wait a minute, where are we headed? We are headed to Delro. So we're actually not that far off from where we're supposed to be going. But when that gets down to like 34 miles, we'll begin our descent. I might do it at 40 miles. Alright, so we got that set at 14,000. So we have to be at 14,000 when we reach Lurch. $10,000 at Hyper, 7,000 at Sigby, 5,000 at Mowat, 4,000 at Hustle, Yak. Oh, what is up with Yak? So we're gonna clear Yak. That looks better. Yeah, 3,000 at Mosby. Then it should be waxing. And our final coordinates. So now I'm pretty sure our flight plan will look decent. Let's take a look at it. I think we got rid of that big ass circle. Alright. Let's see if we can come through this. Yeah, Mowat, Sigby, Hyper. Yeah, that looks way better. Hustle, Mosby, no, we might have to do a circle. Hustle come out. Alright, yeah, we'll see how it goes. Not liking that. I don't know why that's coming out like that. Let me look at the charts. Kiad. Alright, let's take a peek at the chart. So if we're going to do the star, Hyper 8. Hustle, Mowat, Yak, T-Con. Where the hell's T-Con? T-Con. I knew we were missing one. Where's Hustle? Goes Hustle, Yak, T-Con. So we're going to go next waypoint. Yak. It's TCON we were missing, and that should not be flight level 320. So we're going to change that to oh no. That should not be flight level 320. So what if I was to remove that and just skip that and go right to TCON? Get rid of Yak. Go hustle TCON. T-I. Trying to plan our descent, our arrival. TCON showing us at flight level 2. What is going on? Sigmy, Mowat, Hustle, Yak. Well, we'll insert it, and then we're going to edit, see if we can edit it. Vertical reverse at TCON. Descend to 3,000. Return. So now TCON should, yeah, there we go. That's better. Decel 3,000, waxing. Are we still in plan mode? Yeah, we are. Alright, so now let's there we go. That's better. Alright, so we got that part. Now let's do the approach. One right. Alright, so you're going to go Mosby. You should be at 3,000. Waxon. Waxon should be 1,900. Alright. So Waxon should be slash FL190. Nope, that's 19,000. Is that 1,900 feet? Yeah, that should do it. Approach mode comes on right after T-Con. That looks way better. Now it's not a big mess. So who says I can't read a chart and can't flight plan? Alright, so all looks well. And crank those up. So it's pretty bright out here. Alright, so 114 miles to Delro. Like I said, we're not going to begin our descent till we hit the one after Delro. So right now, yeah, it looks way better. Alright, so where's the glide slope is at 1,900 feet. The ILS frequency is at 3,000. So once we get on Moseley, once we get on the localizer at 3,000, we'll drop down to 1,900 feet, pick up the glide slope, and it should take us down. And I believe we're going to do a Category 1. Decision height. So radio altitude is going to be 100. Category 2. Oh, we can do a Cat 1. Yeah, we'll do a Cat 1. Some noisy ass passengers back there. Alright, I'll be right back, guys. While this is flying. Talk to you in a minute. Alright, folks, I'm back. Hope everybody's enjoying themselves. So I'm glad we got that straightened out with the with the flight plan. Alright, so temperatures are looking pretty good. Our bleeds looking really good. Our engines, no issues with those. Oh, a little bit of pressure issue there. PSI is 398. That's a little high. A little stress. Oh, it's not in a warning, so I don't understand it. But our PSIs. Let me check something. Let's go up to the top here. Let's go ahead and drop the cabin speed temperatures.
Guess I'm shocking.
What?
Guess how much my strips are.
I don't know.
Figures.
I don't know. Nothing?
Nothing.
Wow.
Signal covered. Full cost.
Oh shit. Okay, so aft ISO valves, cabin fans. Okay, none of this is active. The pack is on. Engine bleeds. APU bleed is off. Ram air is off. So why is our PSI way up there blinking? Although, wait a minute, because it's right here. It's probably our fuel burn. Speaking of fuel, let's go to the electrical. Oh, shit. Did I just put myself out of... Yep. Damn it. Put me back in climb. Throttle. Thank you. I hit the throttles by mistake. Alright. They're coming up. Coming over. Let's take a quick peek outside. Even though it's like really loud out there. Actually, it's quieter out there. Give you a nice view of the outside. Ladies and gentlemen, off to our right, we're going to have Don's Place Air Park. It's 11 miles from here, down below. Few points of interest. You got Valley Spring Farms to our left. Not that you can see too much from 32,000 feet in a cloudy sky. There's Reading Regional Airport, 11 miles down. That's just a small airport. We'll be flying out of a few of those with smaller planes. when we do go to fly the TBM 930. Our current airspeed's 283 knots. Ground speed would be like 500 miles an hour. So we're doing pretty good. Let's head back on into the cockpit. And let's go back down to here. So we have 42 miles till we hit Delro. And then it's going to be like another 228 miles. And out of that, let's see. So what I need to do is recalculate. So 14,000 feet, 57 miles before target. At 428 knots. Landing. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and calculate wind direction, temperature, weight. I don't know what our weight is. Full flap, runway heading, runway conditions are dry, reverse thrust, overweight proximity. So it's calculate, get METAR. Get METAR. Let me come in here so I can get a little bit closer. You see what the hell we're doing here. Yeah, flaps will be full. Airport Kbos-Kiad. Get METAR. Alright, here we go. So the only thing we have to do is get our runway heading, our approach speed. It'll tell us what we need to calculate. So it's dry, temperatures, wind magnitude. So runway heading. Let's take a look at the runway heading. 11 degrees. Conditions get dry. No slope on the runway. Alright. So runway slope, weight, flaps, overweight, calculate, runway altitude. $53 feet. Okay, so this doesn't calculate enough for us. Runway slope. Wax into map. Runway LDA. Landing LDA. Let me see if I can get it from the top. One left. Alright, so one right. If you did a Potomac approach. Elevation is 313. Runway slope, there's no slope. Runway height's 451. Runway altitude 451. QNH. So the calculator does not work on that. Can full fix. Wind direction. Wind magnitude is 5 knots. Temperature 26. Approach speed in knots. $140. Runway LDR. Oh, the distance on the runway. Runway distance. What is the distance for this runway? Reference. Advisories. Class. Approach. I have no idea. So still 57 miles before where are we at now? Lurch 250, so we got 57 miles before. Destination data. So T-Con. 3,000 at Mosby. $1,900. Do I got Mosby in here twice? Alright, there's Lurch. Alright, I need to take a look at this. Hyper. Hyper. So we totally missed something. Moat, Hustle, Tycon, Mosby, Waxon. Okay. Lurch, Hyper. Oh, fuck, we should have went down. Damn it. We're fucked. Might have to do a go around.
From the flight deck, ladies and gentlemen, as you may have noticed, we have begun our initial descent down to our destination. Now would be a good time to wrap up any business you need to take care of as we prepare for off-road. If you are up,
Sigbee shit.
Tell the aircraft arrive safely at the gate. Flight attendants, please prepare the cabin for arrival.
Oh, we're fucked. Yeah, I should have descended way earlier. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to have to actually go around. Oh, yeah. Son of a sea biscuit. I don't know if I can descend any quicker. I'm going to try descending 2,500 feet. I think it's going to work. Might have to bring us back up to the star, the beginning of the star. Hyper 8. So we're there. To bring my ass back to Delro. Let's go to Delro. We're going to go direct to Delro and come back around. Hopefully we got enough fuel. Good news, if I get us down low enough, we'll swing back over. No big deal. We're going to cut back over and we're going to hit Delro and then turn back around to Lurch. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to go Delro. And then we're going to go next waypoint is going to be Lurch. Lirch. Just to get us back on path. That should do it. Yeah, see, that's going to swing us back around. Then I'll slow us back down. So we're just going an extra 42 miles out of the way. I'd rather do that than get a missed approach. So we'll go ahead and let that do its thing. We're going to come over now. See, at Moet we should be at 5,000. So we're going to do Perf next. We're going to do full flaps. QNH. Transition altitude is 18. 18,000 feet. And we got to get back in here. Control 5. 18,000 feet. Radio altitude, we're going to go 200. Temperature, let's go ahead and get the weather forecast. $210 at 5 knots. Alright, where are we at? 20,000 feet. I can start slowing us down. Alright, so let's start slowing this. We'll drop at 1,300 feet for a minute. If I can get us down and then turn around, we won't have to worry. Alright, so I need to go to the McDo menu, ATSU. I need to request. Received messages. Alright, we need this MEDAR. And then we need to print that one. Alright. So standard altitude 2999. So once we hit 14,000 feet. Alright, so temperature. Broken winds are 210 at 5 knots. Yeah, we'll just let it go out of its way. At least we got back down there. Alright, so Perf. Next phase. So winds are at 210. QNH is going to be 3,000. 30.0. No. 0.00. Temperature outside temperature. Winds are 210 at 5 knots. Not sure what the temperature is yet. See if I can get their ATIS airport info. Let's go airport info for Kbos-Kiad. Taxi. Airport info. ATIS. $13485. $85. There we go. So we're at 14,000. Then we need to be down to 5,000. All right. Lurch Moat 5,000. Okay, so we got our... Alright, so we're going to start going down again. Down to 5,000. We will get there. We've got 7,000 pounds of fuel left. We should make it. Alright, I am going to put the landing lights on. We'll go ahead and throw the wing lights on. And we'll call the cabin. Chime the cabin so they can get ready. And go ahead and put that on. Lurch, Moat, T-Con. We're going to activate the approach mode once we hit T-Con. And we're down to 3,000. We're coming down at 10,000 feet. We're going to be at 5,000 feet. What's our airspeed? 250 knots. Entering the soup. So we're going to get ready to start our auto brake's going to be medium. We're going to go ahead and set our spoilers. Spoilers are armed. .35 nautical miles to get down to 5,000. Yeah, this plane's going to have to be serviced once we get on the ground. So speeds, let's see what our speeds are going to be. Approach. Yes, we're going to be at 3,000 at Mosby to catch the ILS. That's weird how this chart's not giving me the speeds. Alright, we're at 7,000. I'm going to start slowing us down. Drop us down to 220 knots. Landing lights are on. Speed brake is armed. Ground spoilers. Seat belts are on. We're going to begin our final descent very soon. Shortly. Ladies and gentlemen, this is your captain speaking. We are about to make our final descent, final approach into Washington Dulles Airport. Please listen to the flight attendants as they will be coming by to make sure your belts are on and everything is set. Once again, thank you. I want to thank you for flying with Delta Airlines, and we hope to see you back soon. Welcome to Washington. Okay, I got some traffic ahead of us. Okay, so we're just getting to 5,000 feet from Moat. We need to be at 4,000 for hustle, so we're going to drop you to 4,000. We should be getting to the outer marker soon. Should be right after T-Con. Some MOATs coming up. We'll activate the approach mode once we get to T-Con. Then we'll start slowing her down. So we're at 4,000. Need to be at 4,000 for Hustle, which we got there a little early. Which is fine. Because Hustle's right there. Just a short distance. So I'm going to bring us down to 3,000. And then after that, we're going to go down to 1,900 once we catch the localizer. So far, so good. Okay, so we've picked up the ILS frequency, and we picked up the signal. So once we get down, like I said, once we get down to T-Con, I will activate the approach the approach phase. And we'll begin our approach down into Washington Dulles Airport. So once we start down and get on our glide slope, that's when I'm going to turn the APU on, so that when we get on the ground and we shut our engines down after we get to the gate, we'll still have power until I connect to the external power. So once again, ladies and gentlemen, this is the fly-by-wires A320NX. It is a free airplane, and I'll tell you, it flies really good. It flies realistically. The MCD is like right on par. If you get Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020, I would highly suggest you get this plane. It's an awesome plane to fly, in the Airbus family. Okay, we are about to turn onto Husel, so we are going to drop it down to 3,000. And as you see, our glide slope came alive and our ILS came alive. So we're going to go ahead and activate the approach phase. So we're going to go here to Perf. We're going to activate it, and we're going to confirm it. And we are good. And we are right on course. So once we get down at Tucson, it's going to spin us around, and we're going to come in on this end of the runway. So right now the airport is just below us, a few miles ahead, like 4 miles ahead. Alright, so we have made it to 3,000 feet. Once we get closer, I'll start slowing the plane down more, activate some flaps. But we need to pick up the localizer at 3,000 feet.
2,500. 2,500.
So we're floating here at 3,000 feet. The winds are a little harsh. They're coming out of the west. Okay, so 28 nautical miles. So half of that is when I'm going to start dropping us down to 1,900 feet. Well, actually, I can't drop us down to 1,900 until after we make the turn and connect onto the localizer. That's when I'll activate the approach phase. And see, the little glide slope thing's going to come down and it's going to go below, but once we turn the corner it should come back up and we should be able to capture it. I'm going to drop us down to 210 knots and I'm going to put a notch of flaps out. Okay, we're at flaps 1. That'll help with a little bit of drag. Again, spoilers armed. Auto brake to medium. Cockpit door is locked, which is something I forgot to do. I should have done that earlier. Weather's on. Okay, we need that on for landing. Ignition to on, just in case we were to lose an engine. I'm going to go ahead and start the APU. Get that ready. We won't need the bleeds because when we kill the engines, it's just as long as we have power. So off to our left, we have some traffic. He's at 4,800 feet. Actually, it says he's below. It says he's below us. Oh, he's above us. So he's up here somewhere. So we have to be at 19,000 by Waxon. So once we get across, see this little dot here is when we should have, technically, this is where you activate your approach phase. But anyway, we got a straight shot right to the runway. This should be a pretty decent landing. So we got 6,400 pounds of fuel left. By the time we get there, we should probably have about 5,800 for our reserves. So yeah, they just transferred fuel from the outer. Okay, so the APU is now available. We don't need to bleed on. All we needed was just the APU. The generators. Generators are on. Okay. So we might piss through a little bit more fuel, a little bit quicker. And that's because we got the APU on. So here, I'm going to drop us down to 19,000 feet. We'll get ready to. Because once we get around the corner here, we're going to hit the approach. Slow us down some more. Once we start turning the corner, I'll slow us down some more. So we can get another notch of flaps. So we're looking for a target speed of 134 for landing. Now, as you can see, the glide slope's coming back up. That's this little diamond on the right. That'll come up to here. Once we capture it, you'll start to see it. Well, you'll start to see it drop, and then we'll capture it. Once that happens, it's all downhill from there. Same thing here. Once we're on the ILS, this little diamond here will be right in the center. So we're about ready. In 5 miles, we're going to be turning the corner. So I'm going to slow us down now. I'm going to drop us down to 180 knots. I'll bring out another batch of another set of flaps. Speed check, flaps. And as you see, it pulls us down a little bit more. So we need to stay at 3,000 until we actually get on the localizer. Then we'll start descending down to 19,000 once we've established the link. So once we get to this little red dot, that's when I'm going to activate the approach. Which will in turn activate the localizer, capture the localizer for the instrument landing. Okay, we are going to begin our turn. And I'm now going to activate the category 3. Once the localizer activates, that's when I will descend us down. So we can pick up the localizer. Slow us down a little more. To 161. We're going to go gear down.
Flight attendants, please prepare for landing.
All right, we're about to capture the localizer. And flaps full. Full flaps. Then we've captured the localizer, so now we're going to drop down. I'm going to descend down to 19. We need to be at 1900 by the time we hit Waxen. Which I don't see that happening.
2,500.
Oh, yeah, actually we will catch it. So the airport should be dead at, yep, the runway is dead ahead, right up there. We're in perfect line with it. We're at 1900 feet. I'm going to slow us down a little bit. No lower than 140 knots. We don't want to stall. Now we're just waiting on the little diamond to start coming down. We should pick that up right around Waxen. Ladies and gentlemen, we are about to land. We are on the final course. We're on a 4-mile final. Once we get on the ground, I'll activate the reverse thrusters. Let's land this thing safely. So I'm going to actually line us up right there. That should be with the center of the runway. Right there is the center of the runway. I'll deactivate the autopilot when we get down to 200 feet and we'll take it down. Okay, we should be... Alright, the diamond's starting to drop. As you see it here. So in a minute we're going to catch the glide slope. Three, two, one. And glide slope should get captured. Yep, we're on the glide slope. So down we go. It's a little windy. Ladies and gentlemen, prepare yourself for landing. I don't see any traffic coming, which is good. We are clear to land.
1,000.
1,000 feet. Autopilot's going to come off once we hit 200 feet. Autopilot and auto throttle will come off.
$500.
400. 300.
100 above. Minimum 200.
All right, let's take her down.
100. 30. Retard.
Now, let's get her on the ground. Yeah, that was a little rough landing. Reverse thrusters activated. All right, we're going to get off the next taxiway. Bring our flaps up. We'll get off the next one because we still kind of a little fast there. Once we get off, we'll set our parking brake. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Washington Doolies. It was a little bit of a rough landing. All right, so we're going to hit the brakes. We're going to come taxi. We're off the runway, so I'm going to do this. Put the brakes on. We're going to deactivate the spoilers so that they retract. Landing lights can come off. Taxi light can come on. Flight directors can come off. And let's go ahead and taxi to a gate. Get some power here. I have to admit that was actually pretty good. A little bit of a hard landing, but because I didn't flare it enough. But overall, I don't think it was bad. Alright, so yeah, we're going to go over to one of these gates over here that are open. Reduce to 20 knots. Keep our speed down. So general aviation parking over there. All right, let's drop our speed. All right, let's do this from the outside. I like taxiing from the outside. so I can see where the heck I'm going. Alright. So here we go. Let's taxi it on in. Ooh, those gates are... I don't like those gates. Let's go to a different gate. Let's give it some power. Alright, yep, I just found a gate. We'll come in on this gate. Yeah, there we go. See, the thing is, we gotta have... Alright, that should do it right there. Now let's come up a little bit more. Okay, right there. Brakes on. Let's go back to the cockpit. Okay, brake is on. Yes, brakes are on. Alright, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to shut down the engines. So, not bad. Takeoffs, landings, day, night. Not bad. Pretty damn good. Alright, so let's continue. That's gonna start shutting shit down. Alright, let's get the gate. If it'll let us this time. Yep, here it comes. Let our passengers out. I'm going to go on the external power. And go ahead and turn off the APU. Okay, we are deboarding. So let's go ahead and do the baggage. And open up the aft door. Perfect. Alright. TCAS can come off. Back to standby. You back to standby. Engine selectors are off. flight directors off. Okay, let's go up to the top panel. Okay, IRSs can come off. Fuel pumps are off. Generator 1, generator 2 off. Packs off. Hot air off. Engine bleed 1. Engine bleed 2 off. Window probe heat off. Beacon off. Strobe off. Landing lights off. Taxi lights off. Runway turn on lights off. Seatbelts off. No smoking signs off. And now they can deboard. You can go ahead and put that back to dim. It looks like we got it, everything. So as we let the passengers out and the baggage, baggage is already complete. Alright, that was fast. So there we have it. I want to thank everybody again for checking us out. Checking out what we have. What we did. This is the new Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020. I didn't think it was bad. I thought the flight was actually decent. But until then, this is where we're going to end. I will catch you guys later.